Well, it's Monday and it's the 5th of May. It's May Day bank holiday here in the United Kingdom, and it's typical bank holiday weather because it's suddenly dropped colder in temperature, but at least it's dry. And I've got a couple of things I'm going to get done today. Over the weekend on Saturday I didn't do any video, but I came out and I cleaned a lot of the dead stuff out of the flower beds here in the back. And I think it was Friday I did the same with the flower beds at the front. I mowed the lawn, and I've going to today go to the front of the garden and see what time I got left afterwards. But it's time that I started to get these gladioli bulbs planted. I'm not quite sure how many are in a pack. I'll have a look now if I can see with my glasses. 50. So I've got 4 packs of these, 50 in them. So I'll see what I can do with planting some out around the front, and if I disturb while I'm doing this some of the daffodil or the tulip bulbs, then I will take those up and I will cut the stems off, and I'll keep them somewhere safe to replant them again, ready for next spring. And so I want to get as many of these done as I can today. Before we do that, I'll just show you again the trays of the runner beans. They're doing really well. They are going to have to be planted out now because they're getting too big. So that'll be a job for later in this week. I got 2 trays of those, so I think there's roughly, they've all come through, so I think there's 30 of those. I've got this other tray here which has got 5 in. But these are going to go 4 at least, or 5 of them will go down to my grandson to put in his planter. And then I've got some peas which will need to go out sometime. Unfortunately, it's very disappointed with the peas, but we'll just see what survives and wait to see what we get from them. So out to the front I'll go. I don't usually film at the front because it's a bit busy with neighbours driving by or walking by, but I will put the camera somewhere and just see what footage I can get. I'm having to be a bit more careful along here because there's some gladioli left from last year that's already coming through along this stretch. So I'm being a bit more careful with what I'm digging over. There's a dahlia tuber piece there left over. Now that's one section clean. The wood is getting a little bit rotten, so before the end of this year I will have to replace that with something a bit more permanent and stronger. But I'll get a pack of 50 bulbs put in around here now. I've got some delphiniums which I have brought, which I'm waiting for them to revive from the packaging. I'm going to put some here in the corner, and then the same at the other side of the house as well. And then I'll fill some gaps up with some spring plants as well. So that's looking a lot tidier and better. It could do with some more compost put into it, but I'll make this do for this year. So I'll get on with the bulbs now. So that's the first 50 out of 200 bulbs planted. There'll be another 50 on the other side of the house at the front, and then another 50 in the bed in front of the fruit trees, and then the other 50 I'll decide on a little bit later as well. And I'll just turn the camera around. This cooler weather's just helped the tulips survive a little bit longer. So it's nice to see that there's still some of those are quite good. Saturday I found a pigeon trapped in the netting that I've got protecting some of the flower beds down there, and I thought it was dead, and so I started to cut it away to get rid of it, and saw its eyes moving. So I kept cutting around its feet and around its head and its beak, and got all the netting from off it. And the moment the last bit was off his one foot, he flew off and away he was gone. Didn't even bother to say thank you. But he was saved anyway. Well, it's Wednesday the 7th of May, and since I did the last bit for the vlog on the bank holiday Monday, I done a few other jobs which I haven't done video for, because it's pretty much covering the same of what I've already done. I went out to the front of the house yesterday afternoon, and I cleaned away the bulbs again, the spring bulbs, the daffodils, the tulips, and I dug it all over, the other half, and it was like digging concrete because it's been so dry here. And I planted another 50 gladioli, and then I also took out and planted in both sides at the front, and I'll do a quick through with the camera in a moment, some of the plants that I had growing on here in the greenhouse. Today I've actually had the hose pipe on the front sprinkling the garden and the lawn especially for quite a while, and I've done the same with the lawn at the back here as well, because it has been so dry. I'm also pleased to see that the last lot of peas that I planted are starting to come through in these pots here, so I will have some more peas to go out. These are coming on, and I think the next day or two I'll be planting those out along with the runner beans, although we did have a frost Monday night, Tuesday morning, and so I just hope that they're going to be okay. I also went into the garden And where I had planted peas along here and nothing has come through, I have put some more peas down again. This time I've gone for the Kelvedon Wonder, so we'll see if they'll come up. And here you can see the potatoes are coming through. I've given up covering them now because they're mounded up so much. And here are the carrots that are doing okay. I've just uncovered them today because I've been soaking the ground. It is my intention to get some more bedding plants to go in there, some that are perhaps like petunias, something else that's already beginning to flower, to brighten the front up once again. The grass is very poor because it has been so dry, and so it's had a good soaking today. I've come into the greenhouse as I've got one job that I want to do to complete this vlog. As well as learning as I'm going along in the garden, I also watch other people's gardening vlogs, and I watched one yesterday, and it showed somebody that actually cuts the cosmos that they've planted, and the reason being that it makes the what's left grow stronger and bush out more, and then what they do then with what they've snipped off is they replant that or pot it into another pot to see if that'll root itself. And so I'm going to have a go at doing that because I've got quite a number of these which I've already grown, so I'm going to choose the best of them, and some of them are quite big, so I'm going to choose the best of them and snip them and put them into some pots that I've already filled with compost and left soaking with a little bit of water already. Now I've got 12 of these pots, and so I'll see how many of these there is that I can actually do. I don't actually have anything proper for snipping them, so I've borrowed some nail clippers from out of the house. So we'll get going and see how I get on. So what we'll do is I'll take this plant, and you go from, you've got the first leaves that are there, which are the baby leaves I'll call them, then the next first lot of growth, so we snip just above there, and so I've got that left, and that is as small as that. So I'll just make a little hole in the pot, which I can drop that into, and then I'll firm the compost up around it, and then I'll make sure that they're soaked well for it to have a chance to grow. So the second one I'll cut by there. If it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. See, on that one that I've just done, you can just see by there the roots, the shoots that are already coming out there, and so they should grow out and make the cosmos bush out a little bit more. So the second pot. I've also watched a video of somebody doing this with dahlias once they get to a certain height, counting up to 2 or 3, snipping them, and they then cause the dahlias to bush out more. And again, you could transplant what you cut off into pots like this and see if they will grow. So once some of my dahlias are a little bit bigger, I might have a go at doing that as well. It's just one way of learning something new as you go along. I also had a question asked me regarding why did I put the tomatoes into pots using the compost out of the grow bag rather than just leaving them in the grow bag. And there's 2 reasons for that. First is that I think the tomatoes root better if they're in a pot. The second one is that when you've got your greenhouse such as I have at the moment, full of stuff and very little room to put everything, I can actually have them in the pots for a while, and then later, once I've got more room in the greenhouse, I can place the pots exactly where I want them to be, and that's easier than trying to move a grow bag about. So this one that I've just done on here, you can see the shoots that are coming out there are quite big already, so that should help bush out quite a lot more. I've got enough to do 3 more. So that's 12 of those done. I've got some more cosmos, just a few more that are growing in this tray here. I'll leave them a little bit longer, and then I might cut off some of those as well before I transplant them into bigger pots. I've checked the forecast and it seems like it's going to be warmer now from tomorrow and next few days anyway. It's been very cold here today. I actually had to put the heating on in the house this morning when I was working because it was so cold. It was very chilly, but it's warmed up a bit more during the day. So that'll be it for this vlog, and I'll start the next vlog off with it being warmer by putting out the peas and the runner beans, and hopefully we might be getting past the worst of the cold nights. I also had to cut another pigeon out of the netting during yesterday, I think it was, and so I've taken the very thin netting away and I've just replaced it with some green fencing which has got bigger holes in it just to protect that part of the bedding because of the pigeons going on there and trampling everything down. I've actually got a yellow flower come on the tomato already. Another one starting to come out by here. So that's it. Thanks for watching the vlog. Please like and subscribe and be ready for when I do my next one.